Hey, 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 what up, what up, what up? It's your girl Nikita Jervy from Kita's Peace, where we promote peace in your head, heart, and home. And I am back with another effing Friday message. All right, so today is Forsake Friday. Forsake Friday. Forsake is the definition of forsake is to abandon, to renounce or give up, to forsake someone is to leave them entirely, usually in their moment of need. Okay, it's to abandon, to renounce, to give up, to leave them entirely, usually in a moment of need. Okay, so this is I chose this word first of all because it has come up throughout the week. Is really crazy, but also last Friday was Good Friday, and my cousin, he spoke on the fourth word, which is found in Matthew 27:46 and Mark 15:34, where it says, where Jesus says, rather, my God, why have you forsaken me? And his message was titled Divine Contradiction, a divine contradiction, because it says in Deuteronomy 31:6 and in Hebrew 13:5 that God will never forsake us, right? So I thought that that was fitting because, like I said, through this week, a lot of challenges have come, and I've been thinking about some things where, we're currently on spring break vacation. I'm in Georgia, and the friends that we're staying with, they've been challenged with some things, and trying to work some things out and waiting for God to answer prayer. We're waiting for God to answer prayer, and it just seems like God is not answering us. He's really like silent. We're in this kind of limbo. So just because it says that in the word that God will never leave or forsake us, it doesn't stop us from feeling it, right? And that's obviously the case because even Jesus felt abandoned. But even in his anguish, he was teaching us. When Jesus said it on the cross, I believe that he says, my God, as opposed to Father, to show the duality of God the Father. He is a father, the creator and sustainer of us. And this speaks to the natural, fatherly being that he is, but he is also God, the supernatural and divine being. And this speaks to the spiritual. So Jesus, not only did he feel abandoned physically, but for the first time, he felt abandoned spiritually as well. And so we also go through this same spiritual anguish at times, but it is especially painful when we have encounters with God, when he busts into our lives with power and he answers our prayers and he wins our trust and he builds our faith and everything is good, and we just feel like we like this, okay? We best buds, us and God, and it's just really, really dope. Like if you look at Jesus was out in the streets preaching, healing the sick, raising the dead, delivering the possessed, and then before you know it, he's hanging on a cross. You know what I'm saying? So it can definitely go from one array of the spectrum all the way to the other, like in the blink of an eye, it seems. And so, of course, we have those moments in season where it seems like everything is good. And then the next thing you know, we feel like we're being crucified, right? Where we got people talking smiggity smack about us, or God is not answering our prayers, at least not as quick as we hope. And we just feel like we're in anguish. We are confused. We're broken. And we're like, don't know where to go. Like, we really don't understand, like, where do we go from here? Again, we feel like we're in limbo, And so we cry out to God and he just seems silent, right? So what do we do when we feel like he has abandoned us, when we can't necessarily feel his presence? He's not saying anything to our cry. So first thing is we have to acknowledge or remember that we are not alone. There are too many examples biblically, and I'm sure physically, that or naturally that that have gone through something similar. So that have experienced the same type of isolation and made it through. Okay, so we have in the Bible, we have Abraham, we have Job, we have King David. And like I said, if you have been around the block at least once or twice, you have yourself experienced it and made it through. So that's number one. Don't remember that you made it through. People you know have made it through, so you're not alone. Second, and I go back to what I said a couple weeks ago about feelings, which are the definition, the vague, irrational emotions or reactions. They're vague, they're irrational, okay? So Job, Abraham, King David, us, we feel like we're abandoned by God. We feel forsaken, but in reality, God was not, is not absent, silent, or indifferent towards them or us. It's just how it feels when we're going through challenging times. Okay, so but it's like, okay, if God is with us and he's for us and he won't leave us and forsake us, why does it feel that way? Like, why the perceived silence? Why does it seem like God plays hard to get, or that he's just looking down on us, just staring at us, crying, like, and does nothing, and so to answer that, I'm gonna pose a question. All right. Why is it that absence makes the heart grow fonder, but familiarity breeds contempt? Why is water so much more refreshing when we're really, really our mouth is dry? Why are we almost never satisfied with what we have, but always pushing or longing for more? Why is the pursuit of earthly achievement often more enjoyable than the actual, once we have it in our hand, the actual achievement itself? Why do adversity, scarcity, and suffering often produce the best character qualities in us, while prosperity and ease and abundance, being a spoiled brat, usually produce the worst? You get the picture. But absence heightens desire, and the more heightened the desire, the greater the satisfaction will be. When you like that song, started from the bottom, now we're here. Like, when you start from the bottom and you get there, it's like, oh my God, this is it. You know what I'm saying? This is great. Like, and you can't really understand that greatness unless you have been at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So, God wants us to desire him. In order to quench our thirst, we have to be thirsty. In order to be found, we have to seek him. In order to really grasp the joy that comes in the morning, we have to weep at night. It's like the spiritual yin and yang kind of experience. You know what I'm saying? These times of perceived silence are an opportunity for growth, so that we can learn to trust him in the spiritual isolation, right? So King David says in Psalms 22:1-5, my God, why have you forsaken me? Why are you so far from saving me, so far from my cries of anguish? My God, I cry out by day, but you don't answer. By night, I find no rest. We've all been there, right? You just restless and you're not getting an answer. And you just, Lord, right? Yet, he says, yet you are enthroned as the Holy One. You are the one Israel praises. In you our ancestors put their trust. They trusted you and you delivered them. To you they cried out and were saved. In you they trusted and were put not to shame. God does not want to put us to shame. He wants us to trust him so that he can deliver us. Okay, he wants to quench our thirst. He wants to be found. So as painful and confusing as it may be, we have to trust that our God, the one who mapped out a plan for our lives, will deliver. Okay, so this week, family, I challenge us to remember that God can't lie. Okay, if he said he'll never leave us and forsake us, and that in the valley of the shadow of death that he will be with us, believe it. We have to trust his promise more than our perception. Okay, we have to trust his promise more than our perception. I pray that this has blessed you. I'm Nikita Jervy, the Peace Promoter. Like, comment, subscribe, share. See you next week. Love you. Bye.